Hey guys, this is Karan Binani from MobiScrub, and in this video we would compare the Galaxy Grand with the Galaxy S4 Mini. To begin with, the Grand is a slightly lower performing device because it has a 1.2 GHz dual-core processor and a 1 GB RAM, whereas the S4 Mini has a 1.7 GHz dual-core processor with 1.5 GB of RAM. So that's a better processor and more RAM. Now the Galaxy Grand is definitely much more broad than the Galaxy S4 Mini, which makes it quite difficult to handle. So as you would see that in the Galaxy Grand, I really have to fight to get my fingers around. Whereas in the S4 Mini, thanks to its very nicely sized 4.3-inch screen, it fits perfectly in one hand. In the Grand, I really have to maneuver the device too much, and a lot in fact, to reach to its corners. Whereas the S4 Mini, very nicely, it just fits inside within my fingers, and it just makes single-handed use a breeze. So here you can clearly see the difference between how broad the Galaxy Grand is and how slim and narrow the Galaxy S4 Mini is. The Grand, as the name suggests, it actually lives up to its name. It is about offering a large viewing experience. Now, if you compare the Galaxy S4 as compared to the Galaxy Grand, both of them do offer 5 inches of screen estate, but the S4 is definitely slimmer and it's sleeker. There is quite a difference between the width. Now, if you place the S4 Mini, there's still a bit of a difference between the S4 and the S4 Mini, but that's also because the S4 Mini is a smaller screen, which is just 4.3 inches. The Galaxy Grand is 0.7 millimeters thicker than the Galaxy S4 Mini. The S4 Mini is only about 8.9 millimeters thick. The Galaxy Grand weighs 162 grams, whereas the S4 Mini weighs only 107 grams. The rear panels of both the devices, as you'd expect, is plastic with a polycarbonate glaze. The S4 Mini obviously has the same diamond pattern that the S4 has. Inside the S4 Mini, you've got 2 SIM card slots and a microSD card slot expandable to 64 gigabytes. Same is the case with dual SIM Grand, and there's a microSD card slot right there. The Galaxy Grand has a 2100 mAh battery, whereas the S4 Mini has a 1900 mAh battery. In the Galaxy Grand, like most other Samsung smartphones, the side skirting is a regular plastic, whereas in case of the S4 Mini, and the same as S4, you've got a really nice looking chrome kind of side skirting. On the top end, you've got a IR LED port, so the Galaxy S4 Mini actually acts like a remote control for most television, set-top boxes, DVD players around you. The Galaxy Grand has a 5-inch screen with a resolution of 480 by 800 pixels. Whereas the Galaxy S4 Mini has a 4.3-inch screen with a resolution of 540 by 960 pixels. The major difference lies in the fact that the Galaxy S4 Mini has a Super AMOLED screen, which is a far superior technology than the Galaxy Grand. The Galaxy Grand is a regular TFT LCD, which is not as good as a Super AMOLED that you find in the Galaxy S4 and the Galaxy S4 Mini. Let's talk about the UI now. So both of them in this case are running the latest Android 4.2.2. Although the 4.2.2 version for Grand is not out yet, I still have installed it, and there's a video for that you can click and find out how to do it. Anyway, so the UI looks pretty much the same. Both of them are running the Nature TouchWiz interface from Samsung. In terms of the notification panel, you'd see that there are a few differences, simply because Galaxy S4 Mini does have more features than the Galaxy Grand. And that's okay because the S4 Mini is also more expensive. Now the Galaxy S4 Mini does not have a multi-window feature, but that's okay again because the S4 Mini screen is just 4.3 inches. The Galaxy Grand has a larger screen, so multi-window makes sense. Apart from that, the control panel or the settings panel is again exactly the same. There are no differences in that case. Now while using the UI, screen animations, effects and transitions are something that you experience all the time. And I'll be honest that the Galaxy S4 Mini definitely has an upper hand in case of how smooth the transitions are. That's primarily because the processor is much better and the pixels per inch value is higher for the Galaxy S4 Mini, which kind of helps it render the icons and pages in a better way. In terms of display, the Galaxy S4 Mini has an upper hand again. It has the Super AMOLED screen, which is a far superior display technology as compared to the TFT LCD that the Galaxy Grand employs. You'd notice that even at sharp angles like this, the Galaxy S4 Mini does not lose its color, whereas the Galaxy Grand, the colors kind of wash out. Even in bright sunlight, the Galaxy S4 Mini would definitely have a better readability as compared to the Galaxy Grand. In terms of color reproduction, the Galaxy S4 Mini wins again. That's because of Super AMOLED screen, which has very deep blacks, and that makes the colors pop up even more. So the colors look a lot more vivid on the S4 Mini, whereas on the Galaxy Grand, they're slightly towards the more subtle, natural side, and there's a little bit of graying around the blacks. Now let's talk about the camera UI. Even though I've upgraded to 4.2.2, the interface does not seem to change. So there is still tap to focus. In terms of effects, there are quite a few. So you've got cold vintage, warm vintage, you've got cartoon, posterizer, green point, blue point, and so on and so forth. But again, it's disappointing because these are not the new effects that we've seen in the S4. In terms of scene modes, you've got a couple of them, and we'd see how the S4 Mini has much better modes. Anyway, the Galaxy Grand is capable of shooting full HD videos at 1080p. You can take snapshots while you're shooting a video, and you can also pause and resume the video recording. Now let's come to the S4 Mini. So in S4 Mini, you've got the brand new Galaxy camera interface that we've also seen in the Galaxy S4. So you can rotate your modes, just a fancy way of selecting a mode. Other than that, you can also view all the modes that you have, and as you can see, there's sound and shot, which is newer than most effects, and it came in the S4. Then there are a lot of these effects, and again, these are the same that you've seen in the Galaxy Note 2, the Galaxy S3, and even in the Galaxy Grand. They're not very, very different. Again, very disappointing because the Galaxy S4 has extremely awesome filters. The S4 Mini is also capable of full HD video recording with the same pause and taking a picture capability. In terms of performance benchmarks, you can clearly see that the Galaxy S4 Mini has a better performance than the Grand. Much of this can be attributed to the 1.7 GHz dual-core processor and 1.5 GB of RAM, whereas the Grand just has a 1.2 GHz dual-core processor and 1 GB of RAM. For all those people who message a lot or email a lot, it really depends now. On the Galaxy Grand, it's a bigger screen, so it kind of makes it easier for you to type, with two hands. But with the Galaxy S4 Mini, although the keyboard is slightly smaller, you can still type using just one hand. So, it really depends on you. Now, there are a bunch of preloaded applications in the Galaxy S4 Mini, such as the S Translator, the new Group Play, the new S Voice, and you've got the Watch on TV Remote application. Whereas, in the Galaxy Grand, you don't have all of that. The Galaxy S4 Mini also comes with Smart Stay and screen mirroring, which is absent in the Galaxy Grand. There is no doubt that the Galaxy Grand is an inferior device as compared to the Galaxy S4 Mini, given a smaller processor, lesser RAM. It just makes sense that the Galaxy Grand would not be as performance oriented as the Galaxy S4 Mini, but that's also because it's more affordable, whereas the Galaxy S4 Mini is an incarnation of the Galaxy S4, so it pretty much adapts the look and feel of the Galaxy S4 and delivers pretty good performance. So if I was to make a purchase decision based on money, then I think I would go with Galaxy S4 Mini, assuming that I have all the money that it takes. If it is display size, then I think Galaxy Grand definitely has an upper edge, simply because it's a larger screen estate. So that's it, guys. Everything that I have broadly on the Galaxy S4 Mini and the Galaxy Grand. Hope you guys really enjoyed watching the video. Do let me know in your comments below which phone did you really like or preferred. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you a lot for watching, guys. See you soon.